Everything in Chrisean Rock's life was already hanging by a thread. But what happened today pushed things to a level nobody saw coming. It started like a normal morning, quiet house, calm energy, but behind that calm was a storm waiting to explode. Chrisean had no idea that her own sisters, the same girls she defended her whole life, were about to pull the most shocking move against her. This wasn't a small family argument. This wasn't a disagreement gone too far. This was a planned, sneaky, coordinated attack. And the target wasn't just Chrisean, it was also her baby. The whole thing began with a casual phone call. One sister acting friendly, soft tone, acting like she just wanted to stop by. But her timing, her energy, the way she avoided questions, everything about it felt off. Chrisean sensed it, but she brushed it aside. And that, without knowing, was the biggest mistake she could have made that day. The moment the door opened, something felt wrong. A whisper, a shadow moving behind the hallway, a sudden silence that didn't match the visit. Then it happened, so fast that even the security footage couldn't catch the first move clearly. One sister distracted her, talking loud, waving her hands, pulling her attention. The second sister stormed in from the side hallway and lunged at her, a full-force, unexpected attack. No warning, no reason, no control. Chrisean froze for a second, her mind trying to understand what was happening. These were her sisters, her family, the same people who cried with her, fought with her, grew up with her, and now they were jumping her? The aggression in their eyes didn't look emotional, it looked intentional. Like someone had hyped them up, like someone had pushed them to do this, and that's where the story takes a completely new turn, because right in the middle of the chaos, the screaming, the pushing, the crashing, someone else shows up, someone who shouldn't even be there, someone who only shows up when there's an opportunity, not responsibility. Blueface. He walked straight in, like he already knew what was happening. No surprise on his face, no confusion. He wasn't there to protect Chrisean. He wasn't even there to break up the fight. His eyes were locked on only one thing: the baby. The moment he stepped in, everything shifted. Chrisean's sisters moved differently. Blueface kept looking around the room like he was searching for something. And when he finally opened his mouth, he didn't ask if Chrisean was okay. He didn't ask why her own sisters were attacking her. He said something that made the entire situation flip upside down. Something that made Chrisean realize this wasn't a random family fight. This was a setup. And Blueface had come with one goal: to take the baby. The moment the shouting starts, it feels like the air inside the house gets thicker. Chrisean is still trying to process what just happened. One second she was standing by the kitchen counter, and the next she's being shoved so hard her back hits the edge of the cabinet. Her breath knocks out of her chest, but she doesn't fall. If there's one thing people forget about Chrisean, it's that she's built from fight. She doesn't collapse, she snaps back into focus. But even then, she can't understand it. She can't understand why her own sisters are suddenly in her face yelling, accusing, reaching for her arms like they're trying to restrain her. It feels unreal, like a scene happening to someone else. She's angry, but beneath the anger is something worse: disbelief. That deep, painful disbelief when you realize someone you love might not love you back the way you thought. One sister is screaming something about responsibility. Another is accusing her of keeping everyone out, but none of it makes sense. There's no real conversation, no explanation. It just sounds like chaos. Chaos planned by someone who knew exactly which buttons to push. And Chrisean feels that in her bones. This isn't how her sisters normally fight. They've argued before, even pushed each other before, but never like this. Never with this much distance in their eyes. Never like strangers. Chrisean steps backward, raising her hands just enough to protect her face without escalating the situation. She keeps trying to talk. She's frustrated, but her voice is steady. She keeps saying, "What are y'all doing? What's wrong with you? Why are y'all acting like this?" But they don't answer her directly. They keep circling around the room like they're looking for something, or maybe waiting for someone. And that's the part that keeps sticking in her mind, because their eyes keep darting toward the front door. Something isn't right. She moves toward the hallway where the baby is sleeping, and instantly, one of her sisters blocks her path. That's when Chrisean's heart drops into her stomach. They're not here for her. They're here for the baby. Her body goes cold, then hot, then cold again. She steps sideways to go around them, and the second sister reaches out and grabs her wrist hard. Reflex kicks in. Chrisean pulls her arm back and takes a step away, but they keep crowding her, forcing her backward toward the living room. She glances at the baby's room, the door still closed, and her mind is racing. How did things reach this point? What were they told? Who lied to them? Or worse, who sent them? Outside, a car door slams. It's loud enough that everyone in the house hears it. The sisters freeze for half a second that tells Chrisean everything. They were expecting this. They were waiting for this. That cold realization runs straight through her spine, and she moves fast, heading toward the hallway again. But her sisters rush to block her, pushing her back with more force this time. One shoves her shoulder so hard she stumbles sideways into the corner of the couch. She catches herself before she falls, but her frustration starts boiling. She's not scared for herself, she's scared for her child. And that kind of fear turns into something sharper, something primal. She stands straighter, her jaw clenched, her breathing heavy but controlled. There's a shift in her. She's no longer confused. She's preparing. And then the front door swings open without a knock. Blueface walks in like he owns the place, not surprised, not confused, not nervous. His face has that same blank confidence he carries everywhere, the kind that makes it impossible to know what he's thinking. He scans the room, sees Chrisean on the far side, sees her sisters blocking the hallway, and instantly his focus locks onto the baby's door. He's not here to talk. He's not here to help. His intention is written all over his body language. Chrisean steps forward immediately, planting herself between him and the hallway before he can get another step inside. Her voice is sharp, louder than before. "Why are you here?" she snaps. "Who told you to come?" Blueface doesn't answer. He just lifts his chin slightly and smirks the way he does when he's trying to get under her skin. Then he says it casually, like he has every right to be here. "I came to get my son." The room freezes. Even the sisters stop moving. Chrisean feels her chest tighten. This is the moment she feared. Not the fight. Not the shouting. This. Him showing up. Him claiming something that only matters to him when it's convenient. She steps closer to him, their faces inches apart. Her voice drops low, steady. "You're not taking my baby." Blueface laughs under his breath, not because it's funny, but because he thinks he holds the control. "He's my kid too," he says. "And you wildin'. You got your whole family attacking you, you unstable. The baby should be with someone who actually knows what they doing." That sentence slices through the room. Chrisean doesn't blink. She doesn't look away. "You don't get to act like you show up for him," she says, slow and deliberate. "Not today, not ever." Her sisters start shifting again, moving behind her, circling like they're trying to separate her and Blueface. Chrisean's stomach drops again. They're cooperating with him. They're not neutral. They're not confused. They're helping. Her mind flashes back to their behavior, the timing, the call, the way they rushed inside without knocking, the way they blocked the hallway. This wasn't a coincidence. This was a coordinated plan. Blueface takes another step toward the hallway, and Chrisean moves with him, blocking him again. He lifts his hands like he's trying to act peaceful, but his eyes keep flicking past her. "I'm not here to argue," he says. "I'm here to get the baby and go." Chrisean's voice cracks for the first time, not from fear, but from fury. "Over my dead body." That's when it happens. The moment everything spirals. One sister grabs Chrisean's arm from behind, trying to pull her away from the hallway. The other pushes from the side. Chrisean twists, breaks free, pulls her arm back, and knocks one of them off balance. Blueface steps in the same second, trying to slip past her toward the door. Chrisean shoves him hard with both hands. Blueface stumbles back a step. Shocked she pushed him that forcefully. The sisters start shouting again. The room fills with noise, and the tension snaps like a rubber band pulled too tight. Chrisean moves toward the hallway again, But one sister grabs her hair from behind, yanking her backward so violently she loses her footing for a split second. The sound of the baby crying fills the house. Everything stops. Every head snaps toward the hallway. The crying gets louder, more panicked. And in that moment, Chrisean's instincts overload, pushing her into a desperate, furious sprint. She jerks her arm free, ducks under one sister's grip, and races toward the baby's room with a speed that shocks everyone, even Blueface. But Blueface moves too. He lunges forward with a burst of adrenaline, trying to reach the door before she does. Both of them collide near the doorway, the impact loud enough to echo through the hall. Because now the fight isn't about anger, it's about who gets to the baby first. The tension didn't ease for Chrisean as she tried to gather herself after the first shock of her sister's betrayal. Every time she looked at them, she could barely recognize the people she had grown up with. The bond she thought was unbreakable now felt like it had been a lie all along. Chrisean's heart pounded as memories of childhood arguments and shared secrets flooded her mind, but nothing had prepared her for the cold, calculated move her sisters had just made. They weren't here for small talk or reconciliation. They had an agenda, and Chrisean could feel it in every glance they threw her way. Her sisters circled her like predators, their expressions unreadable but dangerous. Chrisean's mind raced, trying to strategize, trying to find a way to protect herself, and, most importantly, her baby. The room felt smaller with every second that passed, as if the walls themselves were closing in on her. She could sense the tension in the air, thick and suffocating, like a storm ready to erupt. The sisters weren't even pretending anymore. It was clear they had planned this ambush meticulously. Blueface's sudden arrival added another layer of chaos to an already volatile situation. Chrisean barely had a moment to process his presence before he stepped in, his eyes scanning the room with a mix of anger and determination. His demeanor was protective, almost territorial, as if he was ready to do whatever it took to secure the baby. The energy between him and Chrisean was electric, a mix of love, frustration, and fear. He didn't waste a second trying to calm the situation verbally. His gaze alone seemed to demand respect from everyone present. Chrisean's sisters, however, were not intimidated. Their confidence seemed unshaken, and there was an unmistakable sense of triumph in their eyes. It was as if they had rehearsed this moment countless times, and now they were finally putting their plan into motion. Every movement, every word was calculated. They were testing Chrisean, trying to push her to react in a way that would make her appear unstable or unfit. The psychological warfare was relentless, and Chrisean felt the weight of it pressing down on her shoulders. "Where do you think you're going with the baby?" one of her sisters finally sneered, her voice sharp and cutting through the tension like a knife. The words hung in the air, heavy with accusation and challenge. Chrisean's pulse quickened, but she refused to let fear dictate her actions. She knew this confrontation was more than just a family dispute. It was a battle for control, for power, for what she believed was rightfully hers. Blueface moved closer, placing himself subtly between Chrisean and her sisters. His presence was a silent but powerful warning. He didn't need to shout or gesture. The sheer determination in his stance spoke volumes. Chrisean felt a small wave of relief wash over her. She wasn't alone in this fight, and that realization gave her a surge of courage. But at the same time, she knew that relying solely on Blueface wasn't enough. She had to stand her ground mentally and emotionally to protect her child and herself. The verbal exchange escalated quickly. Her sisters launched a barrage of questions and accusations, each one designed to provoke an emotional response. "You've changed," one sister said, her tone dripping with disdain. "You're not the sister we grew up with." Chrisean swallowed hard, resisting the urge to respond with equal venom. She realized that engaging in a shouting match would only give them the upper hand. Instead, she focused on remaining composed, carefully choosing her words to convey strength without aggression. Blueface, sensing the psychological tension, subtly encouraged Chrisean with reassuring glances. He knew that her emotional state was delicate and any misstep could escalate the situation beyond repair. Yet, despite the support, Chrisean felt the weight of isolation. Her sisters had formed a united front, their loyalty to each other unwavering. She was the lone voice of resistance, and it required every ounce of her mental fortitude to hold her ground. The standoff continued, each party carefully analyzing the other. Her sisters tried to find cracks in her composure, subtle weaknesses they could exploit. They questioned her decisions, her ability to care for the baby, and even her past actions. Chrisean responded with calm, measured answers, refusing to let anger or fear dictate her responses. Every word she spoke was a calculated effort to assert her autonomy while maintaining dignity. As the confrontation unfolded, Blueface remained vigilant. He could sense the tension escalating and understood that any sudden move from Chrisean's sisters could result in a physical altercation. His protective instincts were on high alert, but he also knew that confrontation had to be managed carefully. Escalating violence would only complicate matters, especially with a baby involved. He subtly shifted his position, ensuring that he was close enough to intervene, but not so close as to provoke aggression. Chrisean, meanwhile, found herself drawing strength from the very challenge she faced. The betrayal was painful, but it also ignited a fire within her. She realized that this was a moment of reckoning, a defining point where she could assert her independence and protect her child's future. Her voice remained steady, her eyes unwavering, as she faced her sisters. "This ends now," she said firmly. "I will not allow this to continue. The baby stays with me, and nothing you do changes that." Her sisters exchanged glances, a flicker of uncertainty crossing their faces. They hadn't expected such resilience from Chrisean. The audacity of her response momentarily threw them off balance, disrupting the narrative they had carefully crafted. Blueface noticed the shift immediately, recognizing the opportunity to strengthen Chrisean's position. He subtly reinforced her words with a quiet but firm, "We're not leaving without the baby, and you're not taking him from me either." The room's energy shifted, a fragile equilibrium forming between the opposing sides. The psychological tension remained, but the dynamic had changed. Chrisean's sisters were forced to reconsider their approach, realizing that sheer intimidation and manipulation would not be enough. They had underestimated her resilience, and that miscalculation gave her a strategic advantage. Despite the temporary calm, Chrisean knew this was far from over. Her sisters were determined, and their persistence would likely lead to more confrontations in the future. But for now, she had managed to assert her boundaries and protect her child. The combination of her own mental fortitude and Blueface's unwavering support had created a buffer against the immediate threat. As the confrontation began to de-escalate, Chrisean took a deep breath, centering herself. She recognized that this was not just a battle over the present, but a test of her long-term strength and resilience. Every interaction, every word exchanged had consequences that could ripple through her family dynamics for years to come. She remained vigilant, knowing that vigilance was her best defense against future attacks. Blueface remained close, a silent pillar of support as Chrisean gathered her thoughts. His presence was both comforting and reassuring, reminding her that she was not facing this battle alone. The sisters, sensing the resolve in both Chrisean and Blueface, began to retreat slightly, realizing that forcing the issue further would only damage their standing. For now, the immediate threat had been managed, but the emotional scars from the confrontation would take time to heal. Chrisean knew that this was only the beginning of a complex journey, one that would test her strength, her patience, and her ability to navigate a fractured family dynamic. The battle had been fought, but the war was far from over. As the tension slowly dissipated, Chrisean and Blueface exchanged a glance, an unspoken understanding passing between them. They had weathered a storm together, and though the path ahead was uncertain, they had proven their resilience. The room, once charged with hostility, now held a tentative calm, a brief reprieve before the inevitable next chapter of this ongoing struggle. Chrisean understood that her journey was not just about confronting betrayal, but also about defining herself as a mother, a partner, and a woman who refused to be undermined. Every challenge, every conflict was an opportunity to reinforce her strength and secure the future for her child. With Blueface by her side, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The confrontation may have ended for now, but the emotional and strategic lessons learned in those tense moments would shape Chrisean's actions in the days to come. She was no longer just reacting. She was planning, preparing, and positioning herself for the battles that lay ahead. This was more than a family dispute. It was a test of endurance, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her child. Chrisean Rock had faced betrayal, intimidation, and emotional warfare, yet she stood firm. Her sister's sneak attack had failed, and Blueface's presence had ensured that her baby remained safe. But the experience left a mark, a reminder of the unpredictable and often harsh realities of family dynamics, celebrity life, and personal relationships. And as they walked away from the immediate confrontation, Chrisean and Blueface knew that this was only the beginning. The next steps would require careful strategy, unyielding determination, and an unwavering commitment to protect what mattered most. The day after the confrontation, Chrisean woke up with a lingering heaviness in her chest. The fight with her sisters and the chaotic arrival of Blueface had left her emotionally drained, yet the fire inside her hadn't dimmed. She knew that the battle wasn't just a single moment. It was an ongoing struggle that would demand vigilance, resilience, and careful planning. Every glance at her baby reminded her of what she was fighting for, and every memory of her sister's betrayal reinforced her determination to protect her family. As she navigated the aftermath, Chrisean reflected on the complexity of her relationships. Family had always been a source of love and comfort, but now it had become a battlefield. She had to reconcile the pain of betrayal with the instinct to forgive, all while maintaining boundaries to protect herself and her child. The lessons she had learned in the last few days were invaluable, not just for the immediate crisis, but for shaping the woman she wanted to become. Blueface remained steadfastly by her side, his presence a constant source of reassurance. He understood the delicate balance required in handling such a volatile situation. His protective instincts were heightened, yet he also respected Chrisean's autonomy. Together, they developed a plan to ensure that her sisters couldn't attempt another surprise attack. It involved setting strict boundaries, creating secure environments for her child, and maintaining open lines of communication with trusted allies who could intervene if needed. The sisters, however, were not easily deterred. News of the previous day's confrontation had spread quickly, fueling rumors and speculation. They seemed determined to challenge Chrisean's resolve, perhaps to prove something to themselves or to assert control in a situation where they had previously felt powerless. Their persistence was both a source of stress and a reminder to Chrisean that vigilance was necessary. She couldn't afford to underestimate them, and she knew that preparation was the best defense against future schemes. Chrisean also had to contend with the emotional toll of public attention. Social media had exploded with reactions to the altercation, fans speculating about motives, alliances, and the well-being of the baby. Some supported her, applauding her courage and resilience, while others criticized her, questioning her ability to handle the situation. Chrisean had to navigate this public scrutiny carefully, filtering advice and commentary to focus only on what was useful and constructive. The pressure of living life in the public eye added another layer of complexity to an already challenging situation. Amidst all this, Chrisean found moments of quiet reflection. She spent time thinking about the woman she wanted to be, not just a mother or a partner, but someone who could face adversity with strength and dignity. She reminded herself that her worth was not defined by the actions of others, no matter how close they were to her. The betrayal by her sisters was painful, but it was not a reflection of her value or capabilities. She could control her reactions, her choices, and the environment she created for her child. Blueface's support became increasingly critical during these reflective moments. His presence provided stability in a world that often seemed unpredictable and hostile. He helped Chrisean see that while the past couldn't be changed, the future could be influenced through careful planning and consistent action. Together, they discussed potential scenarios, exploring ways to maintain safety, minimize conflict, and ensure that the baby's needs remained the priority. Every plan was meticulously crafted, considering both immediate threats and long-term implications. Despite the planning, tension lingered. Chrisean's sisters were relentless in their pursuit, and every message, visit, or social media post from them carried an undercurrent of challenge. It was exhausting to constantly remain on guard, but Chrisean understood that this was necessary. Protecting her child required constant vigilance, and she refused to be complacent. Each day became a balancing act between normalcy and caution, between showing love and maintaining boundaries, between trusting and verifying. The emotional weight of the situation occasionally brought Chrisean to tears, moments when the fear and stress became overwhelming. But she refused to let these moments define her. Each tear shed was a release, a way to process the intensity of her experiences. She drew strength from the knowledge that she was doing everything possible to protect her child and preserve her dignity. With every challenge, her resolve hardened, her determination strengthened, and her understanding of her own capabilities deepened. As the weeks passed, Chrisean noticed subtle changes in her sister's behavior. The initial boldness and confidence had diminished slightly, replaced by hesitation and uncertainty. They were learning, albeit reluctantly, that their previous tactics would not succeed against someone as determined and strategic as Chrisean. While they still posed a potential threat, the dynamic had shifted. Chrisean's resilience, combined with Blueface's support, had created a formidable defense that discouraged further overt confrontations. Chrisean also began focusing on her own growth beyond the conflict. She returned to projects, work, and creative endeavors that reminded her of her identity outside of familial disputes. Music, social media engagement, and professional opportunities allowed her to reclaim a sense of agency and purpose. These pursuits were not just distractions. They were affirmations of her strength and independence. Chrisean recognized that while family dynamics could be complex and challenging, her personal growth and self-expression were within her control. Through it all, the bond between Chrisean and Blueface deepened. Facing adversity together forged a stronger connection, built on trust, loyalty, and shared responsibility. Their partnership became a foundation upon which Chrisean could rely, offering stability and reassurance amidst the uncertainty. They developed strategies for communication, conflict resolution, and co-parenting, ensuring that their child's environment remained safe, nurturing, and loving. Chrisean's relationship with her sisters remained strained, but she learned to navigate it with clarity and purpose. She established firm boundaries, limiting interactions to controlled, safe circumstances while maintaining legal protections when necessary. She recognized that reconciliation might not be possible in the near term, and that acceptance of this reality was part of her emotional survival. The experience taught her resilience, self-reliance, and the importance of prioritizing her child's well-being above all else. In the end, Chrisean emerged from the conflict stronger, more focused, and more aware of the dynamics around her. The ambush by her sisters had been a harsh lesson in vigilance, strategy, and emotional intelligence. Blueface's intervention had been crucial, but Chrisean's own courage, quick thinking, and determination had been the true driving forces behind protecting her child and maintaining control. The baby, blissfully unaware of the drama unfolding around him, remained Chrisean's anchor. Every decision she made, every boundary she enforced, was guided by the desire to create a safe, stable, and loving environment. She knew that protecting him wasn't just about responding to immediate threats. It was about building a foundation for the future, one where he could grow without fear and with the security of knowing his mother would always fight for him. Chrisean Rock had faced deception, betrayal, and emotional warfare, yet she had not wavered. She had learned that strength was not just about confrontation, it was about preparation, strategy, and emotional resilience. Her sister's sneak attack had tested her, but it also revealed the depths of her inner strength and the unwavering bond she shared with Blueface. As the story of this dramatic chapter unfolded, one thing became clear: Chrisean Rock would not be undermined. Her child's safety would not be compromised, and her resilience would continue to define her path forward. The ambush may have shaken her, but it did not break her. She had turned adversity into empowerment, fear into action, and betrayal into a lesson in vigilance and self-preservation. The chapter closed with a sense of cautious optimism. Chrisean remained vigilant, but she also embraced the victories she had achieved, protecting her child, maintaining her dignity, and asserting her independence. With Blueface by her side, she knew that while challenges would inevitably arise, they had the tools, the strategy, and the emotional resilience to face whatever came next. Chrisean Rock had faced the storm, and though it had been intense and unrelenting, she emerged stronger, more capable, and ready to face the future with unwavering determination. The sneak attack had failed, but it left an indelible mark, proof that strength, courage, and love could triumph over betrayal and adversity. If you've been following Chrisean Rock's journey, then you know this isn't just another celebrity drama. It's a story about family betrayal, resilience, and the lengths a mother will go to protect her child. What happened with her sisters, the shock and ambush, and Blueface stepping in to take the baby is the kind of intense, real-life story that keeps everyone talking. But here's the thing, this story isn't over, and there's so much more unfolding behind the scenes that you won't want to miss. We want to hear from you. What do you think about Chrisean's sisters' actions? Were they crossing a line, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Drop your opinions in the comments. Let's talk about it. Your take could shed new light on the situation and even spark a conversation about family loyalty, trust, and the challenges that come with fame. And don't forget, if you want the full breakdown of every twist and turn, make sure you hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll get access to all the latest updates and insider details about Chrisean, Blueface, and everyone involved in this drama. Turn on the notification bell too, because you never know when a shocking new video or update will drop, and you don't want to miss it. If you're loving this story, give it a like. Every like helps us know that you want more content like this, stories that go deeper than the headlines, that uncover the truth behind the chaos, and that keep you on the edge of your seat. Sharing this video with friends and on social media is another way to make sure more people get the inside scoop and can join the conversation. The more eyes on this story, the more we can explore the drama and the real-life lessons hidden inside it. We also want to hear your theories. Could Chrisean's sisters try another move? Will Blueface continue to protect the baby? Or will this drama take another twist? Comment below with your predictions. Some of you might just be right. Every comment, every share, and every like fuels the conversation and helps us keep bringing you these explosive stories. Finally, don't forget to check out our other videos covering the latest celebrity drama, confrontations, and behind-the-scenes reveals. There's a reason so many fans keep coming back. We dig deep, break it down, and give you every detail that matters. Chrisean's story is just the beginning, and you won't want to miss what comes next. So hit subscribe, like this video, turn on notifications, and comment your thoughts. Join the discussion, share the video, and be part of the community that follows the most shocking, real, and unfiltered stories in celebrity life. Chrisean Rock's saga is unfolding before our eyes, and you can be right here, part of the conversation, every step of the way. Don't miss it.